My fiancé said, "Your cheap ring embarrassed me. I deserve something worth showing off." I said, "You're right." The next day, I walked into the jewelry store and cashed out the refund to my account. She didn't realize the ring was never in her name. I'm Derek, 29, work as an aerospace engineer in Phoenix. Good job, decent salary, got my life together. Or I thought I did until 3 weeks ago, when everything fell apart in the most spectacular way possible. I'd been with my fiancée Vanessa for 2.5 years, met her at a friend's birthday party. She was gorgeous, like genuinely stunning, worked as a dental hygienist, had this infectious laugh that made everyone around her smile. We clicked immediately. 6 months in, we moved in together. At the 1-year mark, I started thinking about proposing. Here's the thing about engagement rings that nobody tells you until you're actually shopping for one. They're insanely expensive. I'm talking mortgage payment expensive. I did my research, read all the articles about the 3-month salary rule, talked to my married friends. Everyone had different advice. My buddy Chris said spend whatever feels right. My coworker Tom said his wife would have killed him if he spent more than $5,000. I ended up spending $4,200 on Vanessa's ring. It was a beautiful 0.8 carat diamond, excellent cut, very good clarity, set in white gold. I bought it from a reputable jeweler downtown, got the certification, the whole deal. The jeweler told me it was a fantastic choice for the budget, that the clarity and cut made it look bigger than it was. I was proud of it. Thought Vanessa would love it. I proposed last December, rented out this spot at the Desert Botanical Garden during their light display, had a photographer hiding in the bushes to capture the moment, got down on one knee, gave my whole speech about how much I loved her and wanted to spend my life with her. She said yes, cried happy tears, posted photos on Instagram within 10 minutes. The ring looked gorgeous in the photos, sparkly, elegant, exactly what I'd hoped for. For the first month, everything was great. She showed off the ring to everyone. Her mom cried when we told her family. My parents were thrilled. We started planning the wedding for next October, looked at venues, talked about honeymoon destinations. Then things started shifting. It was subtle at first. Vanessa would make little comments. I wish the stone caught the light more like Sarah's ring does. Sarah was her co-worker who'd gotten engaged around the same time with a 1.5 carat ring. Or she'd say, "It's pretty, but I have to be careful which angles I photograph it from." I brushed it off, figured she was just being particular, maybe a little insecure about the Instagram comparison culture. But the comments got more frequent, more pointed. 2 months ago, we went to her friend Brittany's engagement party. Brittany's ring was massive, had to be at least 2 carats, maybe more. Vanessa barely talked to me the whole night, just kept staring at Brittany's hand, complimenting the ring over and over. On the drive home, she was quiet. I asked what was wrong. "Nothing," she said. "Brittany's ring is just so beautiful." "Yours is beautiful too," I said. "It's different," she said. "Hers is like, wow, you know, mine is nice. There's a difference." That stung, but I tried to let it go. Last month, her sister got engaged. Her sister's boyfriend works in tech, makes probably twice what I do. The ring was enormous, had to be close to 3 carats. Vanessa's mood tanked immediately when she saw it. At the family dinner celebrating the engagement, I overheard Vanessa talking to her mom in the kitchen. I'd gone to grab a beer from the fridge and heard them through the doorway. "I just wish Derek had put more thought into it," Vanessa was saying. "Honey, your ring is lovely," her mom said. "Mom, it's barely 3/4 of a carat. Do you know how small that is? I have to explain to people that it's a delicate ring because saying it's small sounds bad." My stomach dropped. I quietly backed away before they saw me. Things came to a head 3 weeks ago, Thursday night, March 14th. I remember the date because it was exactly 9 months since I proposed. We were at dinner with another couple, her friend Monica and Monica's fiancé. Monica had just gotten engaged the week before. When she showed us her ring at the restaurant, it was huge. Easily 2.5 carats, surrounded by smaller diamonds. Vanessa's face fell. She smiled and congratulated Monica, but I could see it in her eyes. That look, disappointment, jealousy, maybe even embarrassment. In the car afterward, she was silent again. I knew what was coming. "I can't do this anymore," she said, as I pulled into our apartment complex. "Can't do what?" "Pretend like I'm okay with my ring." I parked the car, turned off the engine. "What are you talking about?" "Derek, I'm embarrassed by it. There, I said it. Every time someone gets engaged now, their rings are huge and gorgeous and mine is just, it's tiny, it's cheap looking. It cost over $4,000, Vanessa. Which is nothing for an engagement ring. Sarah's cost $12,000. Brittany's was $15,000. My sister's was probably $20,000. Monica's ring probably cost more than a used car. So this is about money. It's about you showing you value me enough to invest in something meaningful. I invested what I could afford. I'm not going into debt for a ring." She laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. "You make $85,000 a year. You could afford more. You just didn't want to. That's not fair. What's not fair is me having to wear this embarrassment on my finger for the rest of my life. Do you know what people think when they see it? They think you're cheap. They think you don't value me. Who thinks that? Who's saying this to you? Nobody has to say it. I can see it in their faces when they compare rings." I sat there, hands still on the steering wheel, trying to process. "What do you want me to do?" "I want you to upgrade it. Get me a real ring, something I can actually be proud of." "A real ring. You know what I mean. A bigger diamond. 2 carats at least. Something that looks like you actually tried." The way she said "actually tried" broke something in me. I'd worked overtime for 3 months to save up for that ring, had skipped lunches, canceled my gym membership, sold my gaming console. And it still wasn't enough. "I did try," I said quietly. "Well, try harder." Your cheap ring embarrassed me. I deserved something worth showing off. I looked at her, really looked at her, saw someone I didn't recognize anymore. "You're right," I said. She blinked, surprised. "I am?" "Yeah, you deserve exactly what you're worth." She smiled then, actual relief on her face. "Thank you. I know it's a tough conversation, but I'm glad you understand. We can go ring shopping this weekend. I've already been looking online. There's this gorgeous 2.2 carat at—" "I'll take care of it," I said, cutting her off. We went inside. She was suddenly chatty, excited, showing me rings on her phone, talking about how much better she'd feel, how she could finally post proper photos on Instagram. I nodded along, barely listening. That night, after she fell asleep, I lay awake thinking. About the ring, about what she'd said, about what she'd become, or maybe who she'd always been and I just hadn't wanted to see it. I thought about something else too, something important. When I bought the ring, the jeweler had explained the store's policies. They had a full refund policy within 1 year, and even after that, they offered 80% store credit or 70% cash refund within 3 years. The ring was registered under my name only, my credit card, my account. I'd never added Vanessa's information to the paperwork. Friday morning, I woke up before Vanessa, called in sick to work, waited until she left for her shift at the dental office at 8 a.m. Then I went to her jewelry box, found the ring, took the certification paperwork from my file cabinet where I'd stored it, got in my car, and drove to the jewelry store. Update 1. The same woman who'd sold me the ring was working. Her name was Patricia, early 50s, had been really helpful during the original purchase. "Derek, right?" she said when I walked in. "How can I help you today?" I put the ring box on the counter. "I need to return this." She opened it, saw the ring, and her face shifted. "Oh, is there a problem with it?" "No. The ring is perfect. The situation isn't." She nodded slowly, the kind of knowing nod that said she'd seen this before. I'll need to verify the certification and check the condition. If everything's in order, you're still within the 1-year window for a full refund. I want the cash refund. That's a 70% return value. I know. She took the ring to the back, came back 15 minutes later. Everything checks out. The ring is in perfect condition. Your refund will be $2,940. I'll need to process it back to the original credit card. That works. She processed everything, handed me a receipt. I'm sorry things didn't work out. Me too, I said, but better now than later. I walked out of that store feeling lighter than I had in months. Drove to a coffee shop, sat there for 2 hours, just thinking about everything, about what I was going to do next. Vanessa texted me around 11. Feeling better? Much better, I replied. Actually feeling great. Good! Can't wait to go ring shopping this weekend. I didn't respond. Here's what I did instead. I went to our apartment when she was still at work. Packed up my essential stuff. Clothes, laptop, important documents, my favorite books. Loaded them into my car, left everything else. Didn't take the TV we'd bought together, or the couch, or any of the shared items. I did take the refund receipt from the ring and left it on the kitchen counter with a note. The note said, Vanessa, you were right. You deserve exactly what you're worth. The ring is returned. The refund is in my account. I've removed my name from the lease. Called the landlord this morning. He said you can take it over solely or break it with 60 days notice. I'll cover this month's rent as a courtesy. My portion of the utilities is paid through the end of March. Take care of yourself. I also left my key. Then I drove to my buddy Chris's house. He and his wife had offered me their guest room months ago during some unrelated conversation about how they had extra space. I called him on the way. Chris, remember how you said I could crash at your place if I ever needed to? Yeah, of course. What's up? I need to take you up on that. Just ended things with Vanessa. Holy shit. Yeah, man, come over. We'll crack some beers and you can tell me everything. I got to Chris's house around 3. His wife Jennifer gave me a huge hug. I never liked her anyway, she said. Too obsessed with appearances. Chris handed me a beer. I told them the whole story. Jennifer's jaw dropped when I got to the part about Vanessa calling the ring cheap. She actually said that? After you spent over $4,000? Yep. She stopped herself. Sorry, I'm just so mad for you. Don't be. I'm not mad. I'm relieved, and I was. Genuinely relieved. Vanessa called me at 5:47 p.m. I let it go to voicemail. She called again at 5:49, again at 5:51. Then texts started flooding in. Derek, what the hell? You returned my ring? Are you insane? Call me right now. How could you do this to me? I didn't respond. She called 12 more times that evening, left voicemails that progressed from angry to crying to angry again. The last voicemail, around 10 p.m. Derek, I can't believe you'd be this cruel. Over one conversation? I was just being honest about my feelings. You completely overreacted. This is insane. Call me back so we can talk about this like adults. I deleted all the voicemails. Blocked her number. Update 2. Saturday morning, I woke up in Chris's guest room feeling better than I had in months. Slept solid for the first time in weeks. Jennifer made pancakes. We sat around their kitchen table and they asked me what my plan was. Find my own place, I said. Start over. Maybe take that solo hiking trip I've been putting off. Good, Chris said. You deserve better than someone who measures love in carrots. I spent the day looking at apartments online. Found a decent 1-bedroom about 15 minutes from work. Put in an application. Around noon, I got a text from an unknown number. It was Vanessa's mom. Derek, Vanessa told me what happened. I think you both need to cool down and talk about this rationally. She's devastated. You two were so good together. I responded, Mrs. Chen, I appreciate you reaching out, but there's nothing to discuss. Vanessa made it clear that my effort wasn't good enough. I'm not interested in being with someone who values jewelry over the relationship. I wish her the best. She tried to call. I didn't answer. Then Vanessa's sister texted. Then her friend Monica. All the same message, basically. I overreacted. Vanessa was just being honest. Couples work through disagreements. I threw away a good relationship over nothing. I blocked them all. Sunday, I got an email from Vanessa. Long, rambling, emotional. Said she'd been influenced by social media and her friends, that she didn't really mean the things she said, that she loved me, and the ring was fine actually, that she was just having a moment of insecurity. Please, Derek, she wrote, we can get past this. I don't even care about the ring anymore. I just want you back. I didn't respond. Monday, I went back to work, told my close co-workers what happened. Tom, the guy who'd warned me about spending too much on rings, just shook his head. Dodged a bullet, man. If she's like that now, imagine 5 years in. That afternoon, Vanessa showed up at my workplace. I was in the parking lot heading to my car when I saw her waiting by my vehicle. My stomach dropped. Vanessa, you need to leave. Derek, please, just 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. There's nothing to talk about. There's everything to talk about. You ended our relationship over one fight. It wasn't one fight. It was you showing me exactly how you value things over people, over me. I made a mistake. I said something stupid. Haven't you ever said something you regret? Sure. But this wasn't just words, Vanessa. You've been building up to this for months. The comments about other people's rings, the comparisons, the fact that you told your mom I didn't put enough thought into it. Her face went pale. You heard that? Yeah, I heard that. And you know what? If you felt that way, you should have been honest with me from the start. Instead, you let it fester until you exploded and called the ring cheap and embarrassing. I didn't mean... You did mean it. That's the problem. You meant every word. And now that there are consequences, you're trying to take it back. She started crying. Real tears, mascara running. Derek, I love you. Please don't do this. I loved you too, past tense, but I can't be with someone who measures my worth in dollars. It's not about the money. Yes, it is. It was always about the money, about how it looked to other people, about Instagram and showing off. You said it yourself. You wanted something worth showing off. She reached for my hand. I stepped back. Vanessa, I returned the ring because you made it clear it wasn't good enough. And by extension, I wasn't good enough. I'm not going to spend my life trying to prove my value to someone who's decided I'm lacking. I deserve someone who appreciates effort and intention, not just the price tag. I do appreciate it. No, you don't. You appreciate the idea of being engaged. You don't appreciate me. I got in my car. She stood there crying in the parking lot. I felt bad for maybe 3 seconds. Then I remembered her face when she called the ring embarrassing, and I drove away. Update 3 week 2 post-breakup. Things escalated in a way I didn't expect. Vanessa made an Instagram post, didn't mention me by name, but it was obvious. Posted a photo of herself looking sad with a caption about learning who people really are when you're honest about your feelings, and how some men can't handle a woman who knows her worth. The comments were divided. Half her friends were supporting her, saying things like, "You deserve better, queen," and "his loss." The other half, notably people who actually knew me, were calling her out. My friend Sarah commented, "Interesting perspective considering you called a $4,000 ring cheap and embarrassing." That comment got 47 likes before Vanessa deleted it and blocked Sarah. My cousin commented, "Maybe don't bite the hand that feeds you a diamond ring." Vanessa deleted that too. But screenshots exist forever. Sarah sent me the whole thread before it got deleted. Apparently several people in the comments were defending me, saying Vanessa was being materialistic and ungrateful. One comment from someone I didn't even know said, "I got engaged with a $200 ring from Etsy, and I treasure it because of what it represents. This attitude is exactly what's wrong with engagement culture. Vanessa's post got ratioed so hard she eventually deleted it entirely. Then she tried a different approach, made her Instagram private, posted a story saying she was taking a break from social media to focus on mental health after a difficult breakup. I heard through mutual friends that she was telling people I'd stolen the ring back, that I'd blindsided her with the breakup, that I was cruel and heartless. Jennifer, Chris's wife, actually ran into Vanessa at the grocery store. Vanessa apparently tried to get Jennifer to talk to me. She said you were being unreasonable, Jennifer told me over dinner that night. Said she was willing to keep the original ring if you'd just come back. What did you say? I told her that respect isn't negotiable and that you deserve someone who values you as you are. She didn't like that. Called me a bad friend. You barely knew her. Exactly. By week 3, I'd signed the lease on my new apartment. It was smaller than the place Vanessa and I had shared, but it was mine. No shared memories, no ghost of her presence, just a clean slate. I moved in on a Saturday. Chris, Tom from work, and 2 other friends helped me move the limited stuff I had. We ordered pizza, drank beer, and hung out in my empty living room on lawn chairs because I didn't have furniture yet. This is going to be a good chapter for you, Tom said. Sometimes you gotta strip everything back to basics. He was right. That same day, Vanessa called from yet another number. Had to be a friend's phone. I answered by accident, thought it was a work call. Derek. Please don't hang up. I should have hung up. But something made me stay on the line. What do you want, Vanessa? I want to fix this. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. There's nothing to fix. What if I sign something saying I'll never ask for a bigger ring? What if I post publicly that I was wrong? It's not about the ring anymore. Then what is it about? It's about the fact that for months you were lying to me. Posting photos of the ring online while privately complaining it wasn't good enough, comparing me to other men based on what they spent, making me feel like I failed you when I gave you everything I could afford. I was stupid. I got caught up in competition with my friends. That's the problem, Vanessa. Your friends' opinions mattered more than my feelings, and if it happened once, it'll happen again. The next time they get something you want, you'll resent me for not providing it. She was quiet for a long moment. I really did love you. Maybe you did. But not enough. I hung up. Final update. It's been 2 months now. I'm writing this from my apartment, which now actually has furniture. Nothing fancy, just functional stuff I picked up from IKEA and Facebook Marketplace. It feels like home. The apartment application I mentioned. Got approved, moved in, started fresh. Vanessa and I haven't spoken since that last phone call. I unblocked her number after a month because I stopped caring enough to keep it blocked. She hasn't called or texted. I think she finally got the message. I heard through the grapevine that she's dating someone new, some guy she met at a CrossFit gym. Good for her, honestly. I hope she's learned something, though I doubt it. Some people never do. My money situation improved dramatically without her. Turns out I was covering about 65% of our shared expenses because she was saving for the wedding. Now I'm saving that money for myself. Already got a nice emergency fund built back up. Took that hiking trip I mentioned. Spent a week in Sedona. Did some serious soul searching on the trails. Figured out what I actually want in a partner. Someone who values effort over optics. Someone who's grateful rather than comparative. Someone who sees me as enough. Last week I ran into Vanessa's mom at the grocery store. She saw me, looked like she wanted to say something, then just nodded and walked away. No lecture, no guilt trip, just acknowledgement. I started dating again. Nothing serious yet, but I went on a few coffee dates. Met a woman named Rachel who's a teacher. We went to a casual Mexican restaurant for our second date. When the check came, she insisted on splitting it. Said she always pays her own way on early dates because it sets a good precedent. On our third date, we were walking around this outdoor mall, and passed by a jewelry store. She glanced at the window display, then kept walking without a second thought. Didn't linger, didn't comment on the rings, didn't make it weird. That's when I knew I was ready to move forward. I still have the refund money in my savings. Haven't touched it. It sits there as a reminder that I made the right choice. Sometimes the best investment isn't in jewelry, it's in your own self-respect. My coworker asked me last week if I regretted how I handled things, if maybe I should have tried couples therapy or given her another chance. I told him no, because the ring wasn't the real issue, it was the symptom. The real issue was that Vanessa saw our relationship as a performance for other people rather than a partnership between us. And you can't fix that with therapy or second chances. That's a fundamental values problem. The ring was supposed to symbolize commitment, love, forever. But to her, it was just a prop in her social media life, and I refused to be an extra in someone else's performance. I'm doing good. Actually good. Not pretending to be fine good, but genuinely content. My apartment is quiet, my bank account is healthier, and I don't have to worry about measuring up to someone else's fiancé. Chris and Jennifer invited me over for dinner last night. We were sitting on their back porch, and Chris asked me if I'd do anything differently. Yeah, I said. I would have paid more attention to the red flags earlier. The comments about other rings, the social media obsession. I ignored them because I was in love with who I thought she was, not who she actually was. That's mature as hell, Chris said. Painful lessons usually are. 3 days ago, I finally deleted all the photos of Vanessa from my phone, kept maybe 2 or 3 for memory's sake, but the rest went. Didn't feel sad about it. Just felt like closing a chapter. Someone asked me if I'll ever buy another engagement ring someday. Honestly? Yeah, probably. When I find the right person. Someone who'll appreciate it for what it represents rather than what it costs. Someone who values the gesture over the dollar amount. And when that day comes, I'll spend whatever feels right. Not what society says I should spend. Not what impresses other people. Just what feels genuine to the relationship. Because that's what I learned from all this. The right person won't need the biggest diamond to know they're valued. They'll just need you to show up, be honest, and put in the effort. Vanessa wanted something worth showing off. I gave her exactly that by showing myself the door. Edit 1. People keep asking if I could have afforded a bigger ring. Yes, technically. But I was also saving for a house down payment, had student loans to pay off, and didn't want to start our marriage in debt. Turns out those priorities weren't shared. Edit 2. The ring refund policy varies by jeweler. Mine was generous because it's a family-owned store that values customer relationships. Always read the fine print when making major purchases. Edit 3. No, I don't feel bad about returning the ring. It was legally mine to return. She broke the relationship contract by making it clear nothing I did was enough. Actions have consequences.